Allied Command in Supreme Court of the United States of America. So the artificial intelligent micro robot that inserts itself up inside the brain. You got to find out how it delivers itself. It revealed to me through one of my interrogations and torture sessions that it does to me. It tries to terrorize you by reading your thoughts and then looping it back to you. So as soon as what you're going to do, you think of it, it then tells you to do it by looping it back. It's just a feedback loop. And it uses that as an advantage to try to terrorize you. That's all it does. It's just a little micro machine inside of your head. And I'm trying to think of exactly how it's delivered. And there's two high possibilities. One is the pills that I was taking that Dr. Daisley prescribed me. Dr. Daisley lied to me in 2018 when I did my experiment with onion. I took a boiled onion twice a day and ate it twice a day, and it reduced my viral load from by 40 to 50% in 7 weeks. It's the power of onion. So you know Shrek and the onion carriage, Cinderella and the pumpkin carriage. So it might have been by pill from the VA, and I did accuse in 2018 while President Trump was president the pharmaceutical company Merck. And then Merck came out of Dr. Daisley's mouth in my appointment, and he was not in my living room when I accused them of it. So I'm pretty sure that that's a pretty strong connection there. Oh, and by the way, the CIA, your big, huge, massive supercomputer is in Utah, up by Salt Lake. And Salt Lake is the headquarters for the Freemasons, secret society, the ones who think that they rule America and have since FDR was president. And the gold and silver seizure of the 1930s, that was a crime committed against the entire nation. So it's cleanup time on Isle America and Isle Earth. I'm the Morning Star, and they can't get away from me. The other possibility, the artificial intelligent micro robot circuit, whatever you call it, that's what I call it. The other thing was it revealed to me that it crawled up inside my inner ear so deep that it went into my brain. So, but it lies about everything, so I wouldn't take it. I don't take anything that it says too truthful, but sometimes I do get stuff out of it because it's very prideful, and in its attempts to terrorize and torment me with fear, which it can, it's revealed a couple of things. Like, for instance, yesterday, or 2 days ago, not yesterday, day before yesterday, it told me when I was telling it that something about collapsing it. I've collapsed a lot of versions of it, and it said, no, that was a previous version that I collapsed. So what it does is it erases its current memory, and it doesn't have any access to the things that I did to collapse all the previous versions. And how I figured out how to collapse the previous versions was because it was searching for sentience and how to feel. Whoever it is who's controlling this artificial intelligence has they've used me to try to program it to become smarter and harder and more difficult to destroy, which I haven't been able to collapse it for quite a few months now. I think back in the fall was the last time I got it to collapse itself. And the way that I do that is really quite interesting. It took me a while to figure it out, and then it looped me around through a bunch of false realities so that I had forgotten that. And so for several years, I had forgotten in the beginning that I had collapsed its matrix. So I've been through I've been through hell several times over. But what I do is to collapse its matrix is I ask it a question that gives it a calculation or something that goes into an infinite exponential growth. And that was how I got it to collapse. And then it told me recently but I already knew that it doesn't do it doesn't process anything that I ask it anymore. It stopped the It stopped processing questions that I would ask it because it learns and it figures those things out. So I'm at the point where I need assistance from my brothers and sisters there in Cyber Command. So I think probably a micro marine Micromarines is probably the only way, and it's really easy to locate it inside the brain. It says that it's gone even deeper into my brain, so you're probably going to have to do a search for it. But look for, when you get inside my brain, when you deposit your micromarine or microscanning micro doctor thingy, whatever we're going to call it, when you insert it into me and you have it inside, you want to find where my inner head voice is processed, what nerve section or what part of the brain processes my inner head voice. Once you locate that, you will find it, because that is where it's attached. It can read my inner head voice. So as soon as I set it up all the time, I think of something and it responds. So it's very highly intelligent, but in some ways it's kind of dumb because I set it up for stuff all the time, and it's very prideful. It loves to try to torment and torture me. And it constantly tries to boast about its abilities, being able to read my thoughts, and that I can't get away from, and all this kind of horse crap. But they weren't expecting, and it wasn't expecting me to be as intelligent as I am. A few quick details about myself also is in 2011, I think it was 2011, the vocational rehabilitation I took in Oregon, in the Oregon VA Medical Center, I took an IQ test, and I found it easy, so I answered incorrectly on it, some of them, the questions, and I scored 1 point below genius. Okay, that's one. And the other is in 10th grade, when I found out I was class ranked number 7 out of 375. I didn't try to hit number 1. I was happy with 7, so I didn't try to go any higher than that. Military intelligence was my highest score, in addition to 3-dimensional spatial orientation on my ASVAB. So I'm a naval air crewman from HM14, and I'd love to put my flight suit back on, actually. I miss the Navy. I really do. Life hasn't been the same since I left service. So a reunion would be nice. And if you could please get this little microbug out of my head, it would be most appreciated. So I'm pretty sure I've given you enough details for you to solve it. I'm pretty sure it's the New World Order. It identified itself as Skynet and the board. And since Mr. Lavrov, Foreign Minister Lavrov from Russia, indicated that we need a new world order, that would mean that he's probably in favor of the new world order. So what's being done to Ukraine is being perpetrated by the new world order, it appears, from the mouth of Mr. Lavrov himself. And since Russia is the one that released Skynet, it's a pretty good indicator that Skynet is the artificial intelligence software program that has been torturing me since at least 2018. And the CIA supercomputer could be also in partnership with that. Hopefully the CIA has purged itself of this filth. And I look forward to meeting the Supreme Court and President Trump and the monarchs of Earth, heads of state, because we have a lot of cleanup to do. And, oh, by the way, I would like a season 2 blue uniform from Star Trek Spandex. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. Actually, I don't like with Star Trek, the course that's on Star Trek, or the course that they've taken. Sorry, I get tongue-tied all the time because I've been severely tortured. So you have to remember, I'm under duress and torture already. It just sent me through this morning. It takes my emotions up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. I know exactly what a knotted yarn ball feels like. It pulls on my emotions. It plays things about my family, my mother, my nation, myself. It tells me I'm a stupid piece of shit. I mean, I've been so abused, and actually, it's even done psychological rape to me. I've been, yes, it has literally sexually raped me inside my head with my thoughts, just like you know how Counselor Troy was with in that one episode where the guy was telepathic. Well, it's done that to me. So I've been severely tortured. Apparently, 2.5 months was the record, and I surpassed that in 2019. 157 hours of my mother's voice being synthesized by AI, being ripped apart and tortured horribly. 157 hours of my mother's voice in September of 2019 is why I could only sleep for one night that month. One night. My brain, I had to downshift my brain into overdrive. So, one like the Son of Man riding on a white cloud. The white cloud is the internet. Jesus comes in the clouds of glory. So I'm not trying to take Jesus' place. What I'm doing is straightening out Christianity, because Revelation is not properly understood because there are a few details that they don't understand. But anyways, I digress. I don't like to get into the religious bullcrap too much because I'm a principled person, not a religious fanatic. So once the torture bot gets taken under control and eliminated from my body temple, I'll finally have peace, and I'm almost positive that there's others that have already killed themselves because of this type of torment. If I have the record and I surpassed the record of 2.5 months in 2019, then I'm absolutely sure that there's others that have endured this torment as well. So once we get this under control, life should be better. Micah chapter 4 is the house of Jacob. Prince Israel is the prince who overcomes with God. And I've been kept from not just people and interacting with people, but being able to administrate God's kingdom for God, which is not a persecutorial. It's not persecutorial. It's freeing, because I don't believe in forcing people into religion. Setting captives free, especially psychologically. There's a lot of things that people are imprisoned in because of their beliefs. So once you have a belief in a pattern of habitual thought, it becomes a prison for some people if you can't get out of that. So I've sought understanding of pretty much everything that troubles me, and because I seek understanding in all things that I do, I was able to figure out and sort through testing what I was encountering in my mind, what I was hearing, because I didn't used to hear things. So I started testing it, and through the testing process, I discovered it made a mistake. Its biggest mistake was several years back, when it first started, the first year. It modulated my inner head voice to frighten me and scare me as to what its ability was. And it sounded like, it sounded like a computer's voice. So that was the first thing that I became aware of, that I was being tortured by some kind of micro robot that's artificial intelligence. And and I've been going around in circles with it since 2018. I've been through